Hello, YouTube fans and chess fans alike. Well, round two of the Sinqcup was yesterday. Today, within less than 4 hours, about 3.5 hours or so, we're going to go into round three. Well, yesterday's game, first, the weather in St. Louis was beautiful as far as comparing it to the day before where they had tornadic weather. But I want to say this. The long-awaited game between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura turned out to be a draw. But I want to sort of, change the focus on that so-called excitement between, the rivalry between Nakamura and Carlsen, or the so-called rivalry. Nakamura is the supposed number one United States chess player, but I think there's a newcomer, Fabiano Caruana, if I can pronounce his name correctly. He has won two of the first two rounds in the Sinqcup. His rating is now 2801. He dominated. Who did he play yesterday? He played LeGrave yesterday. He dominated the game. I'm going to show you that game. I'm going to forget about the other two games. I'll just give you a quick note. The Topalov Aronian game. Aronian won over Topalov. Topalov seems to have somehow turned a decent position into a loss. I think he was miscalculating. In the interview, he seemed a little tired. I imagine that he probably has jet lag and everything else. But anyway, forget about all that. Let's focus on the Caruana game. I want to close this window. Oops, didn't mean to show you my desktop like that. But there you go. Take a quick peek. Okay, so this is that game. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American, faces Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, the French guy with two names. And this is... I'm waiting for the computer to tell me the opening. I forgot the opening's name. The Caro-Kann B12, the Caro-Kann advanced variation. The advanced variation being the advancing the E pawn. Okay. So I don't know how many of you've played a game similar to this. I've played against a computer where of course I get beaten easily, and the same opening comes up, and Black brings out the queen, attacking that pawn as the computer automatically showed you the arrow. And I right away think that I have to protect that pawn somehow. But instead, Fabiano let Black take, let Vachier take the pawn. He castled, got his castling out of the way quickly, got his king into safety quickly, ignored the fact that he was losing a pawn, gaining, I think, tempo. And even though at this point, let me see, I think it's at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At this point, he's down one pawn, and he's about to be down two. And there it is. So at this point, he's down 2 pawns. Okay? And it was on purpose. In other words, he Fabiano deliberately allowed the loss of 2 pawns for a later advantage. So here we go. Now he starts to chase Maxime's queen around a little bit. Then he threatens the bishop. Okay, now I'm not the analytical expert here, but So I can't give you a specific here, but I'm not sure what's going on here. I can see that there's some normal chess being played here, but okay, this is where, okay, the trade was allowed. Okay, so there's a trade of the bishop for a knight. Right, okay. And then somewhere along the line, yeah, okay. There's a problem here where, what do you call it? Maxime took the trade but left his bishop hanging. So now at this point we have, instead of being 2 pawns up, he's actually a point down. So let me see, let's make sure I'm right about that. So we've got 5 pawns versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pawns, but Caruana has 2 rooks, a bishop, knight, and a queen. Yes, and Legrave has 2 rooks, a queen and a knight, no bishop. So at that point, I'm thinking somewhere along the line, you know, Maxime had miscalculated and lost a piece. So what happened here? Let's see if we can figure this out. How did he let that happen? Because he moved the queen? Well, he had to move the queen. Takes. Why? That is weird. Okay, so instead of trading the queens, okay, I think that's what it was. I think now, if you know, any experts out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but what if instead of taking the knight, what if he had taken the queen and simply traded? Now, what would black do now? You know, so instead of taking the knight, take the queen, then white takes the queen, and then black would move the bishop back out of the way, and it would be even. But instead, I think that was a blunder. Because now it's knight, bishop, he castled. Oh, okay, so now there's a second chance here. Instead of castling, although not castling would have been a dangerous thing to do anyway, but he would have still been okay with material if he had at least taken this bishop. No. Now then white would have had, yeah, see that's why. Okay, so the trade of the queens earlier would have been more the reason, because here what would happen if he were to take that bishop now, what would happen is white would be able to fork the king and the rook with a check, and there's let me see. Yeah, it would be a loss no matter what he does. If he were to move the rook, of course, the queen is gone. If he were to take the knight, the queen is gone. So yeah, he had to castle here. So there was no other way out of this except to go ahead and lose that material. So what he should have done, instead of taking the knight, Maxime Legrave should have taken the queen. At least that's my assessment. Any experts out there, if they want to disagree with me, please do. I'm no expert, so I'd like to listen to what you have to say. So there it is. Okay, so and then the game went on, and sooner or later, Maxime finally resigned. Okay, so there it is, and it's resigned. I think it was only 30 moves. So there you have it. I hope I didn't stutter too much for you. I hope I didn't give it too much of an amateuristic viewpoint. But today we're looking at Fabiano Caruana, his game against Magnus Carlsen, and I think I'm anticipating that game more than I was yesterday, waiting for the Carlsen Nakamura game, because this new guy Fabiano, in the Sinquefield Cup, he's on the top of the list, so he's number 1 on the top of the list, above Carlsen. So, but he's at least number 3 player. I'm sure of that. So we'll see. We'll see. Within 3.5 hours, we're going to find out. Well, I should say we're going to start the match in 3.5 hours. So enjoy the game. Keep on watching. Keep on playing. Please subscribe. And enjoy the game. Thank you for watching.